Diary. Okay, so this is the part where everything is supposed to make sense, right? I've mapped things out, kinda. The vision boards, the 5-year plan. And yet, somehow, I still feel lost and questioning my entire life path. Like, is this normal? Oh, hey there. Welcome to Next Gen's Diary. Consider this, you and I's, real-time diary entries about love, friendships, making an impact in your community, and purpose. Basically, all the messy, chaotic, beautiful parts no one really prepares you for. Because maybe this isn't the part where everything makes sense yet. Maybe this is the part where we write it anyway. So if you're walking to class, overthinking a text, or romanticizing your life for absolutely no reason, just know you're not behind. You're not lost. You're just in the middle of finding yourself. And this is our diary, where we can express ourselves while learning as we go, and writing one page at a time as we grow into who we're becoming. So let's dive into today's diary entry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Next Gen's Diary, a podcast where we explore community empowerment in young women. Today, my guest is Kate. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Kate is a concert and event photographer. She has a bachelor degree in psychology, and she's also the amazing photographer who did all her picture for the plot twist and hotline shoot that you will see soon, and also the cover shoot for the podcast. So welcome, Kate. So glad that you're here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is super cool. It's weird to be on this side of the camera on the set.
For sure. Kate, if we dive in a little bit,
Mhm.
what project or passion are you currently working on for now?
Photography all the time, as much as I can, for sure. Right now, it's just doing new and different kinds of photography. So this is a really good example. I've never done like a true shoot photography, like set photography. So this was definitely a new world to dive into. I'm more used to concerts where it's a lot more fast paced. You don't get a second chance. So this was kind of nice, actually. If I mess it up, we just do it one more time. It's nice.
You were really patient with us this night.
You guys were patient with me.
How did you find it? Like the first shoot that we did, it was like in November. It was pretty cold.
It was freezing. I think I remember being cold mostly and then pretty nervous as well. I was using new equipment. There was just lots of moving parts, but you guys are the friendliest and you guys are pros, so it was a really fun shoot.
Really cool. All right. What is like one of your key success so far with photography in the last month or year? Like how?
Yeah, most recently for me, I just shot for Ray at Place Belle, which was like the biggest show I've done in my career. It was insane. It's really cool to be by like just truly talented people where I've found myself shooting and then having to stop for a second and be like, oh my God, wow. Like
Kind of a pinch me moment.
100%. I'm used to, I like started shooting very small bands and that's where my heart lies. But doing this kind of stuff, you're like, it's just a different environment for sure.
And it must be like, is there a lot of women that does shooting like concert? Is it pretty mixed? Like,
It's pretty mixed. I've found if there are women, I'm definitely the youngest,
Mhm.
but actually Ray was a really cool opportunity because I had 3 other girls my age shooting with us. So that is a great opportunity to shout out them. They really inspire me. I call one of them my photography crush because she
Aw.
does a bunch of really cool, just like really genre pushing stuff. She's doing mixed media. She's really just pushing the
Ooh.
boundaries of what concert photography can be.
okay.
So that was another reason why Ray was such an incredible opportunity for me because it gave me an opportunity to rub elbows with people whose work I've really loved. And at the same time, I'm watching a show that I really am lucky to be there for.
That is such a cool moment for you.
It was really
Like
fun.
sharing this space with some people you admire.
Yep, it was really cool.
Oh, I gotta ask you, Kate, like how did you how were you inspired to become a photographer? Where this came from?
Honestly, by accident. I had a roommate who was starting a band because that's what
Okay.
happens in your 20s. And they needed someone to hold a camera. They needed like really terrible pictures. And I went,
Okay.
well, I can take a terrible picture. I borrowed her camera and I shot their first show and I just really got hooked.
That is such a cool story.
It's so fun. It was down at shout out Barfly, one of the smallest venues you
Barfly,
could
yeah.
play, but The pictures were genuinely awful, but I have a lot of love for those early days of shooting in just like the stickiest bar you can find.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could even say it's like your plot twist moment, right?
That's my plot twist moment.
your
Is
plot
it
twist
really came out of
moment.
nowhere? It was it was love at first sight, but for sure took me a minute to really latch onto and really make my own. You really have to take the time to find your style, and definitely took me some time.
Did you ever like had any obstacle or like a plot twist moment when you started concert photography that you can
Yeah.
think of?
I mean, the biggest obstacle to starting concert photography is the cost. I was a student when I started, and you don't have a lot of extra cash to go around, it is the main obstacle to starting is just you don't have the gear, you don't have the right
Yeah.
equipment. It's definitely a tough go, and it can really set yourself apart by having the right gear, the right skills. So my advice for new photographers is always to try the gear first. There are really great rental programs, and I know a lot of this episode is about using institutions or learning outside of them. I always recommend to use what you have around you. So public libraries, a lot of universities have gear rentals really affordable for their students, for young people. So using your gear and getting to try it out before you go and purchase the $1,000 lens. It's
many $1,000.
Many $1,000 lens. It's definitely a way to try gear before you make that big jump, and it's a great way to just see if you even like it. A lot of people think it's a very glamorous lifestyle. You're in front of all these celebrities, but it is very much like it's a little bit lamer than people expect for sure. So
and a lot of retouching after, right?
A lot of retouching.
Hours.
Yeah, a
doing
lot of
retouch.
time on the other end. So that's another place where you can always, if you don't have the best gear, you can learn the skills to edit, to learn how to make your photos your own. So for me, I don't have the most expensive gear. I don't have the best equipment, but I have my own creativity. And I always say, like, it's honestly some of my favorite part being able to go to these shows, but also at the end coming back home and being like, okay, what do I have to work with? What is this raw photo going to turn into at the very end? So I always compare it to like sculpture. Like you're just like picking away at the marble and be like, okay, this picture really sucks right now. Can I get it to a place that is better?
That's really interesting. It's true because you put so much of like your personality because it's an artistic work, right? So we will recognize that it's your work. It's not someone else. It's not like all the same with the colors and how you choose to edit.
That's the goal. And honestly, one of my favorite trends right now on social media is artists or photographers taking their raw photos and sending them to other photographers and letting them edit them and seeing how can we compare the different styles and how does your own style shine through. It's been really fun to see.
And I really appreciate you telling us about using community because like this podcast is mostly for young women. So sometimes you don't have the means to start this project. So I think those are really great ideas that you're bringing today. So thank you for that. So I want to pivot a little bit about like learning outside of a classic institution like universities because you have a bachelor degree and that's amazing. Is there something that you learned outside school that like changed your mind about how you see the world?
Yeah, 100%. I find really once I graduated, my world opened up so much more because I was a very dedicated student. I would say maybe too dedicated. So
straight A student,
but definitely in the house kind of student. So
you also moved, right, for your university?
I did.
So it was a new city.
New city, lots of new opportunities to explore, but I just never took them. So I stayed in university. I finished my degree, and it was really only until after I graduated that I started using those opportunities. It was when I started doing concert photography. So really getting out into the community is what changed my mind about a lot of things. I used to be very introverted, didn't want to go out to the club. I didn't want to go to the late night show. I liked my bed. And so really, really experiencing like the community of an arts culture and of a local scene and a local art scene really changed my view. I came from a pretty small town. Our art scene is there, but it's not. Montreal has a different kind of scene. So being able to not only like take from, but also give to this community. I'm taking my pictures, I'm creating my own art based off this community. but also then being able to give those pictures back to a program or a podcast like this, to
Mm-hmm.
the artists that I love. That's been really foundational to my understanding of the world and the sort of give and take that we have.
Mm-hmm. If you could think of, because I know when you're in university, right, there's like so many books we read, so many like lecture we have to read before, and I think at one point like reading kind of becomes like boring and like a duty for
Mhm.
your classes. And on my part, I felt like when I finished university, I rediscovered like the pleasure of reading and learning through books. Is that
Mhm.
something that happened to you? Like, is there a book that really marked you in a positive way or even a negative way, but really
Yeah.
changed it for you?
No, yeah. I definitely had the same experience, but I would find in the summers I could revisit being a kid that could read 20 books in a week and
Yeah.
like really just staying up late to read.
Mhm.
So one of the summers right before I graduated, I picked up Just Kids by Patti Smith,
Okay.
and that's a really great book when you're trying to feel like an artist. I think I have a hard time identifying as an artist
Mhm.
because my day job is in psychology. I am a researcher. Like,
Mhm.
I don't do
Pretty
artistic
badass
stuff.
too, I gotta say.
Different kind of badass. It's a lot more emails than photography is,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's hard to identify as an artist when you feel you're not out there, shooting pictures every
Yes.
day or painting every day. So that book really helped me embrace the artist lifestyle and like really learn how to embody and learn how to appreciate the culture around art
Mhm.
instead of just like art for art's sake, I
Mhm.
guess.
In the last year, I've come to learn about yourself a little bit more. And there's something that really inspire me about you, and it's the sense of community that you have with
Mm.
your friends around you. I know that you have so many great ideas with your friend to like come together and make the time to value those friendship. And I'm a little bit older than you, so I think like maybe I kind of lost that a little bit. My friends have babies, like it's not the
Mhm.
same anymore. But one thing that I love is like the craft night you do every every week. And yeah, like how do you feel about that? Because I feel like you have such a great group of friends that goes for it and are there, but this doesn't just happen like by itself, right?
It's a bit of luck and it's a bit of choosing the right people
Mhm.
for sure. I can't take credit for craft night. That was my roommate Jasmine. She
Shout out, Jasmine.
shout out Jasmine. She suggested that one. And I think I was just talking about this with my roommates. If you had told me a year ago that I had like standing weekly plans where
Mhm.
20 people come to my apartment, I would die. There's just no way that that's fun for me, but it's the best. It was the highlight of our winters. We know in Montreal they get a little bit depressing,
Yes,
a
it
little
is
bit
depressive.
monotonous.
Yes.
So having that thing to look forward to midweek is it's just really great to have when you
Mhm.
need a bit of a morale boost. And
Mhm.
I remember it starts at 7 p.m. and I remember at 6:45 trying to be like, okay, I got to get ready for craft night. And it's a drag, and then you go, and it's the best. And it's an opportunity to catch up with your friends and make sure everyone's still doing good and
Mhm.
living through the winter. But I also find it doesn't have to be an in-person plan
Mhm.
because if you have friends with kids, if you have I've still got great connections back in BC.
Mhm.
Having those standing routines, standing habits really helps you keep connected.
Yes.
So I have a group chat with two of my friends back home. We all live in different cities now, but our routine is we send the last like 10 photos unedited, unfiltered from our camera roll,
Mhm.
and we call it our weekly recap, and we send them little like captions on each of the photos of, all right, this is what I had for breakfast, and this is a dog I saw on my walk, and all right, that's just my homework. I had to turn that in.
That is so cool. It's kind of like the app that was really popular like 3 years ago. Like
Yeah, Be Real.
yeah, Be Real.
Yeah,
It's kind
we're-
of Be Real, but only with your friend.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just not tech savvy enough for that, I think.
Okay. Is there like to inspire people back home? Like,
Mhm.
can you tell us like three, because you really have team for your craft
Mhm.
night? Can you just tell us like 3 ideas for a craft night that we could do at home?
And I mean, you were there. It
Yes,
was
I was
my
there for one.
favorite. It was the t-shirt night. Everyone, it was a logistical nightmare.
Yes, it was.
But printing pictures that you want on transfer paper and putting them on t-shirts,
Yes.
that was the best. That was super fun. But I think the real like joy of craft night is everyone bringing their own craft and you
Mhm.
just hunker down and It's a nice light conversation. It's nothing too heavy. If you want, we put on RuPaul in the background, and you just have community in your apartment, in your space, and you guys chat.
Just a great time.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The printing t-shirt was kind of amazing.
It was the
I can't
best.
say like what I did, but it's linked to like a hockey TV show and like some two actors that are really nice. And they're on a shirt now,
They're
and
on a
it's
shirt
I get
now.
a lot of compliment on this shirt. Like they're just amazing. So
It's a complimentable shirt. It's an attraction or attention-seeking
Attention.
shirt.
To conclude the podcast, would you have like some advice you would give to your younger self? Because the audience for next gen is young women. So is there an advice you would have loved to have back in the day?
Yeah, go outside, dude. What were we doing? It
Go
was a
outside.
lot of reading, and I think you could have let a GPA point slip for a good story for sure.
That's great advice. Thank you, Kate. If someone wants to follow you on social media and follow your journey, can you like give us your Instagram or something?
Yeah, so for photography, I'm Girls on Digital. Good play on the Duran Duran song. But you can follow me there, and that's where I post most of my stuff.
All right. And hopefully we'll see more concert photography.
I hope so.
Thank you, Kate, for coming on the podcast, and see you girls next time.